Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about grappling, so we're always back talking about grappling. We talked about MMA for a little bit, but yeah, grappling's where it's all at. So, specifically, it's going to be Victory Promotions, it's Victory Fight Promotions, I believe. So, it's going to be Newcastle Fight Night. That's going to be at the Jubilee Centre, I believe. So, it's 22nd of October. So again, another amazing night Victory put on. As I say, they got shows all over the place. So and again, this one's no different. We're going to have Muay Thai, MMA, K1 kickboxing, and obviously submission grappling. So there's going to be something that caters for everybody that's going to be in the crowd. So make sure you head over to the Victory Promotions Facebook page, and you will get all the details for tickets and so on over on that page. Now, my guest is going to be on the show that night. So one of my favourite kids to watch in Scotland. So I remember first time I seen him was earlier this year. I remember him coming in with a Mohican, and the first thing I said was Cobra Kai. So he obviously came walking in, put on an absolute performance. Absolutely love watching him whenever he's competing. And I've been able to see him at obviously the different kids comps that we put on in Scotland. So it's been an absolute joy. Definitely a warrior. I mean, he's not just into jiu-jitsu, MMA. He's obviously into K1, wrestling. And this kid, you're going to hear a lot more about, not just Archie, but obviously his brother as well. His brother's a little bit younger, so you're going to hear more about the Thompson brothers, definitely in the future. So we've got definitely a couple of rising stars that we've got coming out of Scotland. So Archie Thompson of HMAC Inverness. So Archie, absolute pleasure, buddy. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Let me ask, have you done your homework first?
No.
So we'll let your dad sort you out for that. So, but how you been? How's everything going for you?
It's going good, going really well.
Yeah, we saw you on Saturday as well. Listen, I'm good. I'm always good. I'm always good. So, but yeah, we saw you Saturday. Obviously, you were out competing on Saturday, and I mean, the one thing about you. I mean, we see a lot of kids, and the kids nowadays seem to be, when you come in, you're really happy to be there and confident and so on, compared to kids maybe 10 years ago, where when we seen kids were always very, very nervous and stuff like that. Whereas for you, I mean, you just come in and seem to just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I love the competition atmosphere.
Yeah,
it always gives me a good thrill.
Yeah. And I'd say it's not just, as I say, we talked about other things that you do as well, not just jiu-jitsu, but obviously MMA, wrestling, K1 and so on. So you compete in every one of them as well. So, or you try and compete in every one of them. So
try to.
Yeah. How does it differ between a submission-only matchup and, let's say, a K1 fight, or the other things that you do? What's different about the mindset before you go into any matchup?
Well, I always think, because my striking is definitely not my strong point. It's always been my grappling. So I always try to stay as humble as I can when it comes to striking. But jiu-jitsu, I feel confident and ready at all times.
Yeah. What about training? I mean, because obviously I know that, like, my daughter trains now. So Faith, or Minnie Stoom, as she calls herself. You've probably seen her on Facebook, right? So, but she, I mean, she does things. Obviously, she's at school. She does jiu-jitsu. She does dancing and stuff like that. So, and she seems to be doing something every single day, and that's the same as you. I mean, you're doing something every single day. I mean, how do you keep motivated to keep doing and going out training and so on?
I think I've always got something coming up, so it's always just giving me something to drive for, and I know that in the future it's MMA that I'm wanting.
Yeah.
So.
I always laugh as well, as when I speak to kids nowadays, and I remember years ago when I was a kid, your dad will probably remember this as well, but we used to play football and everybody wanted to be like Pele or Maradona or whoever, whereas kids nowadays always want to be like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, top UFC fighters, or they want to be like the top Brazilian jiu-jitsu stars. So, I mean, who's the one person or even people that you look up to, that you aspire to be like?
Well, probably Nicky Rodriguez, Gordon Ryan, and Charles Oliveira.
Yeah. What's your style like then? So obviously, because obviously that's three different people. Obviously, you got Nicky Rodriguez as a big powerhouse, Gordon Ryan also a big powerhouse, but very very technical, the king at the moment, and obviously Charlie is obviously very very different from the other two. So, but what's you? Who is it you more follow in regards to your style?
Probably Gordon Ryan, because I find that I learn a lot just from watching him, because I just see like every little movement that he does is very useful to take note of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you like his whole style is awesome to watch. As I said, he's definitely
Yes.
the king of the moment. As I said, do you see anybody out there at the moment beating him?
No.
Nah, we've sat and racked our brains over this and thinking, well, who's he going to fight next? Who's next for him? And you're like, well, there isn't really anybody. I mean, as I said, he's kind of ran through every single not ran through it, but he's beat every single person that he's came up against. So it's difficult to see who they're going to put him up against next. Who's next in line for Gordon Ryan?
Yeah. I can't see anyone that's going to really give him a test at the moment. Once he's out of his prime, maybe people are going to start taking over, or once the next gen come along.
Maybe you in a few years, Archie.
Yeah.
So be a good fight in a few years' time. So, and then what about the matchup then? So obviously Victory, obviously first of all, so Victory, awesome promotion, as they do, not just obviously grappling. We talked about all the other things they do as well, all the other martial arts styles. So how did you find out you were going to be matched up for a sub-only match on it?
Well, the first one, we just got a message from a guy, Terence, which runs Victory, and we got a message asking for our availability, and we ended up discussing it, and we went down to Liverpool and got our first one, and then they invited us back for Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then we went to discussing it, and Olly ended up coming on this one as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Obviously, you and your brother both on the card, the same card that night. So it's going to be
Well,
good
here
to
he comes.
see. Ollie, how you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah.
How you looking forward to the 22nd of October?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've fought a guy before, and he was quite a bit heavier than me.
Yeah.
And this time I feel better for it, and I feel more, and I'm heavier now, so
Nice.
I think I'm going to beat him this time.
It was a really close fight last time. Olly nearly had him in a submission, but he managed to escape it and catch Olly with a submission of his own.
Yeah.
But really interesting fight. So I don't think it matters what happens. Obviously, we want Olly to win, but it's gonna be a really good fight no matter what.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to Ollie, yeah?
Yeah.
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 That's the thing, the two of you together have been absolutely brilliant. As I said, we always love seeing the both of you coming out and competing. So, so it's definitely going to be good to see both of you on Victory. How do you feel, Ollie, about being in the cage as well?
I haven't been in a cage before, but I think it's just going to feel a bit new.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to take it as a new, cool experience.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
How do the kids at school feel, Ollie, when you go into school after winning competitions? And how do they feel? What do they say to you when you go into school?
Not much, really.
Do they not think it's cool? Do they not think it's cool at all? Nah.
Really?
Nah. Listen, in a few years, a lot of kids don't understand and don't know what jiu-jitsu and don't know what MMA and stuff like that is. So in a few years, you'll be a legend, Ollie. You'll be an absolute legend going to school every day. So, and then obviously we've got both of you on the card. Going to be great to see both of you, as I keep saying. So you're both very exciting. Whenever I see both of you at competitions, it's always brilliant. And I love seeing it when the Scottish kids coming through, and the talent at the moment for the kids league that we see is better than I've ever seen it. So so there's going to be a lot of world champions and European champions coming out of Scotland, definitely in the next coming years. So what about you then, Archie? What would you like to see yourself doing going forward? So obviously Victory be your main focus on the 22nd. Going into 2023, what would you like to do?
hopefully get a few more striking comps out under my belt. But then after that, hopefully get back in the cage with some MMA gloves on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe towards the end of next year.
Yeah. It'll be good to see. It'll be good to see. So, and then, I was going to ask Olly, what does Olly want to do? So,
I think
what
he's
would
coming
Olly?
back.
So what would you like to do, Olly? 2023. So, what kind of competitions would you like to see yourself doing?
I'd like to do some more, like, World Championship competitions and more cage fights as well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be quite cool in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to maybe do a few MMA fights.
Nice. So definitely a bright future for both of you. Definitely a bright future. So,
Yeah.
and then what about anybody you guys want to thank then? Anybody you want to shout out to? So you want to say hello to any friends or family, any of your teammates or sponsors that you may have?
Definitely want to shout out Ross Houston, Matthew McDonald, Reggie Hingston, Jamie McDonald. They're all good coaches and supporters. And also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, DS Horn Decorating and KBE Event Services, both local businesses, but they're helping us get down to competitions. They're helping fund things around our comps, which is definitely helping us get down to more.
Yeah. So what about say thank you to Dad?
Yeah, definitely thank you to Dad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, Dad's awesome. As they have Dad comes back and forward with me on Instagram and stuff like that all the time. So it's always a good to get a chat with Dad. So
he's got the biggest grin on his face right now.
So, and then what about you, Olly? Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out to?
Well, I'd like to shout out my coaches, like Phil, Matthew McLeod, Ross Houston, Jambo, and Neve Ross.
Definitely
his number one training partner, Neve. Him and Neve always put each other through the paces.
Yeah. I mean, you guys up at HMAC, the kids team up at HMAC is definitely one of the best teams in Scotland at the moment. So, I'd say there's a few gyms that's got some really, really good kids set up. So, but obviously HMAC seem to be running the show at the moment. So, and I'd say there's going to be as well for the next coming years, because I'd say there's kids obviously like you're 14, Archie. Do you know what I mean? There's kids younger than you, like 8, 9, 10-year-old, and every one of them's coming through. So for the next few years, I can see HMAC being number one for a long time. Olly as well. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great to see you guys on the 22nd as well. So so guys, there we go. We've got the Thompson brothers, Archie and Olly Thompson, both going to be heading to Victory. That's the Newcastle Fight Night. That's the 22nd of October. That's the Jubilee Centre in Newcastle. So anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Victory Facebook page and you will get your tickets directly through there. Make sure you're watching. Make sure you do get down. Are you going to be taking a good team with you guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
We've got family, we've got friends, we've got plenty of people coming down with us, and we've got more than us on the card. We've got Max Dawson as well, and I think there might be a few other people looking to get a spot on this card from HMAC as well.
Yeah.
So probably going to be a big team coming down with us.
Listen, HMAC are running the show at the moment, definitely. So next time I'll see you guys, I think hopefully will be the end of November. Obviously the last kids league, I know we had to cancel the third one, but hopefully the fourth one, I believe it's going to be end of November. So so that'll be getting announced hopefully in the next kind of week or so. We'll try to finalise everything, so hopefully we get to see you guys and the rest of the HMAC team heading down for that one. So but listen, Archie, Olly, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Olly, let me ask, have you done your homework? No? Listen, I'm getting you guys into trouble here. So, but listen, thank you again. Enjoy victory. And listen, I'll speak to you guys soon. Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Take care, guys.
Bye.